schedule everything. Scheduling allows you to know when to say yes and when to say no. So does your doctor schedule stuff? Yeah. Whose schedule do you work around, his or yours? Or hers and yours? Yeah, his or hers, right? Mm-hmm. Listen, my auto mechanic isn't open on the weekends. And my auto mechanic says, hey, you want your car serviced? These are the days and times. We'll give you a loaner car. We'll pick you up and drop you off if you want to. But this is when your car is going to get serviced. Who's in control there, them or me? Them. They're in control. I think one of the misnomers in our business is that the client is always right, or the client always should be right, or that the client should be in control. Absolutely 100% incorrect. Who's the professional? We are. Exactly right. Who's licensed? We are. Who has the experience? We are. Who has the staff and the teams around us? We are. Who has the resources? We do. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have healthy relationships with our clients and manage them properly. Of course we should. However, for those of you who are having issues with, I can't work out, and I can't see my family, and I can't do this, and I can't do that, what's the primary reason? We're not in control. We're saying yes to everything rather than properly managing our time, right? Or mastering our time. Be out of balance. Now, this is another misnomer, right? We hear all this stuff. Well, we should have these lives that are perfectly balanced. Isn't it wonderful if we could live in Shangri-La and everything could be perfectly balanced? Well, I am a big believer in having as much balance in our lives as possible, but in our businesses, we want you to be out of balance. See, in the time that you're working your business, 80% of that time should be income-producing activities. So when you're working, be out of balance towards income-producing activities. Does everyone get that point? Yeah? When you're in your business, be out of balance towards income-producing activities. Lead generation, lead follow-up, going on listing appointments or taking mortgage applications, showing property to qualified buyers only, right? To qualified buyers only, to qualified buyers only, to qualified buyers only. Chris, as a mortgage officer, you're going to do a quick screen. If they're not qualified, what are you going to do? Maybe refer them to a credit repair specialist, right? Exactly. But you're not going to waste any more time there. You're going to thank them. You're going to be very professional about it, but you're not going to waste any time. You may refer them to another professional that can help them, who can then bring them back to you. Okay? Negotiating terms or agreements and price improvements. That's it. Now, some of you have heard this already. Across the country, on average, what percentage of an agent's time goes into those 6 activities? Yeah, it's about 15%. Okay, about 15%. So where does the other 85% of the time go? Water cooler. We're from New England. You hear that, water cooler? We say bubbler up there, by the way. Okay. Where else does it go? Emails. We're going to have a rule about that in a moment, by the way. Okay. Where else? Complaints. Complaining about stuff. Where else? Office meetings. Touring homes. Seminars. Now listen, you're in the 20% now. You're in the 20% now. That's okay. As long as that doesn't become 60% or 80%, right? What else?
Coffee shops.
Coffee shops. Now, let's take it one step further. Non-productive meetings, right? 2-hour lunches, pick up my shirts from the laundry at 10 o'clock in the morning, getting my hair done at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, things like that, okay? So during your work time, we want you out of balance, focusing on those income-producing activities, okay? and at least one R&R day every week. I want you each to make a pledge to yourselves today, a promise to yourself, that you will have at least one day off per week. Rest, relaxation, rejuvenation, time with your family, hobbies, all that stuff. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever for anyone in this room to work 7 days a week. None. Because if you're mastering your time and doing the right activities every day, it's not necessary.
Realtors feel guilty.
Aha! Absolutely. Realtors feel guilty. And a lot of times it's, well, I can only show property to certain people on the weekends, right? Well, who says you can't take Wednesday off?
John, it's a simple answer to that. We talk
Yes.
about it all the time. It's setting expectations at the first consultation with the consumer. That is your number one most powerful time to establish how things are going to work. But if you let the rubber already hit the road, down the road, too late. Set expectations at the first consultation.
Okay, and we'll practice that when we do the scripts, by the way, okay? Does everyone hear what Steve said? Set expectations with your clients on the first consultation. There are just certain days you're not available. If you feel guilty about that, maybe you have somebody else in the office cover for you on that day. Maybe somebody else on your team covers for you. Whatever it may be, there's always a way to solve that issue. However, if you're working 7 days a week, I can promise you, because I've done it, at least one thing, but most likely multiple things will break down. Relationships break down first, okay? And then physical health breaks down next. Those are typically the two. Relationships and then physical health. But if you're properly mastering your time, that doesn't have to be, okay? And refuse to end your day until you've completed those 5 specific steps. What does that force you to do? Remember we talked about taking 5 steps every day, action steps every day? What does that force you to do if you take those 5 steps every day? Finish what you started as 1, very good. What else does it force you to do? Very good, gives you a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day, so you start the next day feeling very good about what you're doing. What else?
Keeps you in momentum.
Keeps you momentum. Aha, keeps you focused on the most important thing. So it forces you to master your time. It forces you.
Create a pattern.
Ah, very good. It creates a habit or pattern of doing that on a consistent basis. Okay? Does everyone get that? Very good. Okay. Here's where we get the most pushback, right here. So we talked about the things not to do, or what to say no to. As many of these as you can adopt, the more free time you will have. Okay? And I know some of you are shaking already just thinking about these. The first is, do not answer phone calls from unrecognized phone numbers. Why don't we answer phone calls from unrecognized phone numbers?
Why?
What's that? Well, they could be solicitors. What else?
They're going to take you off schedule.
They're going to take you off schedule, right? They're going to take you off of your routine. Now, the flip side to that is people say to us, well, it could be the buyer, or it could be that listing of that $8 million house that I've been waiting for the last 4 years. It could be that person. Well, you could win the lottery today, too, but it's 174 million to 1 that you're going to win that. Okay? We want you to be in control, not the other way around. How many of you in here have called my office directly to my direct line? Okay, did I answer the phone?
No.
Okay.